Dear Thai, dear Sangha, dear friends, I am inviting you back with your sitting position. Can you see the screen? Yes, thank you. And first of all, thank you all for your presence this evening. And thank you also for our friends on Zoom. My presentation this evening is about why do we practice mindfulness. First part of three presentations. So I have to give you a glimpse of my typical day when I worked as a wind tunnel testing engineer over 20 years at the National Research Council, large wind tunnels. Every day during the testing for the clients, I woke up in the morning around 5 o'clock, preparing and having my breakfast, and then hopping on the bus, the 97 bus, bringing me to Uplands, close to the airport where my workplace is located. And normally the clients arrive at 6:30, and at 7 we start operating the wind tunnel, putting wind on and start taking data to give to the customer at the end of the day. The testing object varies from cars, racing cars, truck, and sometimes would be full-size truck, and also aircraft model from different companies like Bombardier, de Havilland, Boeing, and others from Europe. And sometimes we also have some bridge suspension, bridge models. And being the wind tunnel testing engineer, I am mostly responsible during the test to make sure that we obtain accurate and good data to give to the customers. So there's a lot of pressure, and when something went wrong, if there was a glitch, all eyes will stare on you, and all of a sudden I can face the big body of the American customer, the project in charge of, the project engineer in charge of that test, standing right in front of me, enormous body. What's wrong with your wind tunnel? What's wrong with your wind tunnel was always the first question they pronounce. So I have to breathe in, breathe out, breathing in. I calm my body and my mind. Breathing out, I strive to have a Mona Lisa smile on my face. But sometimes it does not appear, right? Pressure. So politely, I will answer, sir, I will investigate. We will look into the problem. We will resolve it quickly, and we will get back to you with a report, a complete report of what went wrong. So that's how one typical day works, and then until around 6 o'clock, that's the end of the day. Then you can go home, everybody happy. But sometimes, due to the technical problems we encountered, we had to stay late to compensate for the lost time. And sometimes we could end up at 11 o'clock in the evening. And there I can catch the last bus at 12 from the airport to go home in Vanier. And that was a busy day. So all days are typical like this for the whole 20 years where I worked at the large wind tunnels. So the practice of mindfulness for me is like a timeline on which each moment when I was mindful is like a dot on the line. So my practice, my life is like a composition of several dots. Each dot is a mindful moment, and the line linking all the dots. So you can ask, what happened between the two dots? Between the two dots, two things could happen. Or I am not mindful, or I was sleeping. So when I sleep, I don't know if my mindfulness worked or not. That could be a question for you and for me to give you next time. Then life goes on, and thanks to the practice, I was able to keep my body and mind in a stable state in order to confront, in order to encounter, in order to endure, and in order to keep my day going. So I will go back now to my presentation after this glimpse of my life. Should you turn off the camera a little bit so that everybody can see the diaporama? Here we go. So I will turn to the first one. There's two views that I will present you this evening. The first view is the psychologist view. If you cannot read, I will read it for you. I wanted to say the evolution of the psychologist view of mindfulness start in the late 1970s. This is the transformation of an ancient Buddhist practice into a now called mainstream psychological construct through empirical research, neuroscience, and clinical application. And of course, you can refer to or consult paper or books on psychology to know more. So in their view, mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we are doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. Mindfulness, according to the psychologists, is a quality that every human being already possesses. It's not something you have to conjure up. You just have to learn how to access it. So that sounds like something we already probably know. Let me turn to the next slide. Now, the question is, how does it work according to the Buddhist teaching? To answer this question, let us examine together the 4 favorable conditions. In Sanskrit, pratyaya. This is really basic. The first one is the root condition. Like in order to have a wheat plant, you need a wheat seed. You put that in the soil, and then you put water on it every day. That is called the development condition, adipati. And then you have to remember all the time, you don't forget it, that it has to be the object of your mind, watering the plant every day. It could be a flower. Then you continue. The continuity condition is important. You water it every day, and then one day you obtain the wheat plant or the flower, right? So Buddhist teaching say that we have the seed in our store consciousness. And if we provoke or water that seed, it will come up to the mind consciousness, and it will blossom. It's like the seed of anger. When someone triggers the anger in you, the anger goes up to the mind consciousness, and it becomes a mental formation. It manifests in your face becoming red, or it manifests in you are saying words that are not nice, or it manifests in your punching the pillow or whatever. So from the seed, you water it, you provoke it, it becomes a formation. And that's how mindfulness is considered in Buddhist teaching. We go a bit further. So let me say some words about the benefits between the breath-centered practices and our mind, according to the yogic breathing practices and recent scientific study. So what we experience, what we call breath focus meditation, is mindfulness and yogic breathing practices. Pranayama have numerous known cognitive benefits based on recent research work at Trinity College in Dublin. This is a wonderful piece of research which tell us that when we practice mindfulness, we will increase our ability to focus. We will decrease our mind wandering. We will reduce our stress level. We will be able to take care of our emotions, and we will improve the quality of our life. Thus, by having this better quality, leading to realizing our dreams come true. So let me turn to the next slide. And I put a quote here from Paul Valéry, a French philosopher, famous about, he say about the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. How do we wake up? Dreams alone cannot bring change without real effort. It stresses moving from imagination to practical action quickly. Many people remain stuck within plans without execution steps. The quote urges individuals to face reality without delay. It highlights the importance of discipline in achieving goals. Success depends on consistent action rather than wishful thinking. So, Paul Valéry told us to act and not just to sit there and think if you want to fulfill your dream. So mindfulness, this way, could be understood as a mental state that people can learn to cultivate through training. When people are mindful, they direct their attention toward their moment-to-moment bodily sensations, emotions, and thoughts, and they meet those experiences with an attitude of curiosity and open acceptance. Mindfulness can be cultivated through mindful moments. What I use the word dots in my lifeline. In daily life, moments in which people intentionally stay present with what they do, hear, see, or feel, and embrace what occurred. We are not fighting, we are embracing. In French, we have a word that is very beautiful, apprivoiser. Apprivoiser is a word used by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry in the book Le Petit Prince, The Little Prince. Apprivoiser, embrace, recognize, not taming, not fighting. I am embracing you. Je t'apprivoise. However, formal mindfulness meditation involves sustained practice that systematically trains attention and acceptance. Acceptance is a beautiful word. It is like forbearance. In Vietnamese, we have the wonderful word nhẫn nhục or nhẫn nại, nhẫn nhục. So forbearance is like sometimes you have to be patient, very patient. The pill that you encountered could be very bitter, but you have to swallow and forbear and be mindful and not to retaliate, not to react, not to do anything judging or defending something, but you have to contemplate and give a good, deep moment reflecting on what happened. My research through reading textbooks show that training acceptance, forbearance, during mindfulness meditation can sustain our well-being, emotion, our quality of life. Next slide. Now, coming back with Thầy, what Thầy taught about mindfulness. First of all, Thầy said, mindfulness is the energy of being aware and awake to the present moment. It is the continuous practice of touching life deeply in every moment of daily life. To be mindful is to be truly alive, present, and at one with those around you and with what you are doing. We bring our body and mind into harmony while we wash dishes, while we drive the car, or when we take our morning showers. That is beautiful. But how do we do that? Next slide, Thầy will tell us what to do. So the practice of mindfulness in the Buddhist teaching explores the present moment as it is. We all know that. And the method taught in the Anapanasati Sutta shows us how to establish ourselves in the present moment and unite with our body, our sensations, our emotions, or mental formations, sometimes called sentiments, and the object that evoke these emotions. So there's 4 domains where we have to establish our mindfulness via our conscious breathing. We bring ourselves to be aware of our breath while we are aware of whatever happened within ourselves or around us. And how do we do that in our Sangha? We have the bell of mindfulness. Each time when you hear the sound of the bell, you stop and you go back to your breathing. But Sophia one day said, how about the sound coming from the microwave? The sound from the microwave also is a call to be mindful. It could be also the sound of the bell from a church. It could be a firefighter truck passing into your street. It could be the airplane passing in the sky, and you hear that, you stop, you go back to your breathing. This is important. So we develop our habit of hearing the sound. And we practice mindful breathing when we come to the Sangha, but when we come home, we should also try to practice to be mindful of our breathing, reminding the spot that I told you on my line. We have different spots, different moments of mindful moments. We practice walking meditation together today, for example. Sitting meditation is the best because where you are sitting stable, you are not disturbed by anything. So, learning how to sit on the cushion is also important, but some people cannot sit on the cushion. We can use the chair. We can use different means to be able to keep ourselves immobilized in order to be able to be not disturbed, but just going back to our breathing. Mindful eating is important because when we eat, often projects projects. Oh no, I have something to do. Oh no, I have not paid the taxes. Oh no, I have not paid the bell, telephone bill, etc. So, but mindful eating, you focus on the food that you eat, and you chew very well. Take time to chew. I think Thầy used to say he chew up to 40 times. We cannot do that because we have other things to do. But you start to build up a habit, chewing my food well. And then, tea ceremony, a formal tea ceremony. We hope to be able to practice it in the next 2 weeks. Within our Sangha, you will, if you have not attended a tea ceremony, you should come and enjoy. It's the practice of mindfulness. Mindful movements, we do that all the time. Total relaxation. And also, when we join our palms as a lotus to bow to each other, all you have to do is be aware of the flower in front of you, the lotus. Go back to your breathing. Be aware of the person standing in front of you, to whom you bow in friendship or in gratitude or whatever. But you are aware of the joining of your palms with your breathing. You are not doing that in a automatic way, but very carefully following your breath 3 times and bow down very, very respectfully. And that's how we water the seed of mindfulness within us.